Sunrise over Thebes. A day in ancient Egypt. The first light of dawn touched the horizon over the ancient city of Thebes. A soft pink glow spread slowly across the sky, reflecting off the calm waters of the Nile River as it wound through the fertile valley. The air was cool and filled with the fresh scent of the river's morning mist. In a shaded courtyard made of sun-baked mud bricks, a young scribe named Amenhotep stirred awake. His small room was simple but orderly. Rolls of papyrus, neatly stacked on low shelves, a wooden pallet, and small cakes of black and red pigment resting on a stone table. Amenhotep's work was important. As a scribe, he recorded the stories of the land, the taxes owed, the gifts given to the gods, and the details of the great harvests. His precise hand brought order to the daily life of Thebes, the heart of the Egyptian empire. He rose quietly, careful not to wake his family still sleeping nearby. The soft crackle of a small fire in the courtyard signaled that the day's bread was being baked by his mother. The scent of freshly baked barley bread drifted gently through the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of the Nile's wet soil. Amenhotep stepped outside, breathing in the cool morning air. Along the riverbank, fishermen pushed their reed boats into the water, their nets casting delicate shadows on the rippling surface. Palm trees swayed gently in the breeze, and the distant calls of waterfowl echoed softly. Nearby, temple priests moved slowly through their morning rituals, their voices rising in quiet chants that blended with the gentle lapping of the river against the shore. The massive stone columns of the Temple of Amun stood tall, their carvings telling stories of gods and kings that had ruled for centuries. Amenhotep gathered his tools, papyrus, ink, and reed pens, and made his way to the scriptorium. The room was cool and shaded, lit by slivers of sunlight filtering through lattice windows. Here, surrounded by scrolls and ancient texts, he began his work. With careful strokes, Amenhotep recorded the measurements of grain stored in the city's granaries. He noted the offerings made to the gods, the arrival of goods from distant lands, and the preparations for upcoming festivals. Each word was important, a piece of the great puzzle that held the empire together. As the sun climbed higher, the city stirred. Women carried water from the wells, children played among the columns, and merchants arranged their stalls in the bustling market. The air filled with the rich scents of spices, freshly baked goods, and the earthy aroma of papyrus scrolls. Amenhotep paused for a moment, looking out over the river. A barge floated slowly past, its colorful sails catching the breeze. The sun cast a golden light over the water, sparkling like scattered jewels. In the afternoon, the heat grew stronger. Amenhotep rested beneath the shade of a fig tree, eating figs and bread, while listening to the distant sound of temple bells. Around him, the city hummed with quiet activity. Potters shaped clay vessels, weavers worked delicate linen, and children laughed as they chased one another through the dusty streets. As evening approached, lanterns were lit, casting a soft glow across courtyards and narrow alleys. The scent of incense rose from the temples, mingling with the cool evening air. Families gathered to share simple meals, telling stories of gods and ancestors beneath the star-filled sky. Amenhotep returned home, tired but fulfilled. He placed his scrolls carefully on the shelf, ready to continue his work when the morning came again. Outside, the Nile whispered its timeless song, carrying the stories of Thebes forward through the ages. And as the city of Thebes settled into quiet night, so too can you rest, wrapped in the gentle rhythms of a day long past, but never forgotten.